Hey folks, welcome back to another Q&A video. Apologies for the lateness of this video. I've been unexpectedly busy, but I hope that you're all making good progress with your skin. Lots of good questions have come in and I want to address those in today's video. But first, if you're new to the channel, this channel is all about natural healing of the skin, healing your skin from the inside out. No drugs, no lotions, no nasties, no chemicals. That is all the stuff that I reached the conclusion during my own healing process do not belong in the human body, and instead went down the line of eating a very healthy diet, living a very healthy lifestyle, and learning to get the daily detoxification level high in my life so that my skin could eventually heal. And since I did that 7 years ago, 8 years ago, I've been helping others to do the same thing. So to get into this week's questions. The first question comes from Ooh. This person says, do you drink kefir? I've heard so many people say it's good, but I've avoided dairy for a while now for my health and scared to start regularly drinking it. It's a good question because kefir comes up a lot because of the probiotic content. And basically, I would say if you're scared of dairy, then avoid kefir. I know it's fermented and it shouldn't have the same effects as dairy, but just avoid it. I avoid it. I avoided it all the way through the healing process. And if you want probiotics, it's safer actually just to have probiotics. If you want a natural, dairy-free probiotic containing substance that you want to include in your diet, then why not try kombucha or perhaps even sauerkraut, both of which are high in probiotics. You can include those safely in your diet, but avoid kefir. Next question comes from buysellfootballshirts.co.uk. Bit of a noob question, but do you prefer to press your juice or blend it? I have a centrifugal juicer, but I feel you miss a lot of the good bits. Thank you for your question. I do both juicing and blending. They are very different things, and I wouldn't refer to something that you've blended even as a juice. It's not really a juice, it's a smoothie. So typically, if I'm having vegetables and I want vegetables in a liquid format, I tend to juice them. And if I'm having fruit, I tend to make a smoothie. That is basically because of my personal preference. You're welcome to have vegetable smoothies as well, but I just don't find them to be as nice and comfortable and as enjoyable to drink. In terms of missing out on a lot of the good bits, it is primarily the juice from food that feeds you. You can look this one up, but it's actually the juice in food that feeds you. The only goodness really that you're getting from the fiber is the fact that it is soluble fiber, and so it feeds good bacteria in your gut and it can help flush you through. But as far as what feeds you, it's actually the juice in food. So if you're juicing everything, you can still survive on that stuff. And yeah, if your juicer isn't the most effective, which if you have a centrifugal juicer, then that's not going to be the most high yield juicer in the world, but you're still going to have a lot of good benefits from juicing your vegetables. Next question comes from Jyoti Verk. Hi, so going through NMT, which is the no moisture treatment currently, and was also curious about the amount of water it limits you to drink every day. I was wondering if you think it is all right to drink more per day because I do end up quite thirsty. Yes, as you will have seen, if you watch my other videos on the no moisture treatment, no moisture protocol, which is a protocol which has got a lot of attention and kind of gathering a lot of pace in the East, in Japan, in China, and I've been asked quite a lot about it recently. I disagree with the not drinking water side of the protocol. The bit I really agree with is not putting any moisturization on your skin and relying instead on internally moisturizing your body, getting your body to learn how to send moisture and nutrients out to those eczema affected areas of your body without putting any lotions or emollients on your skin itself. As far as drinking water, I really believe that we should be drinking water to your heart's content, and a lot of you out there are not nearly drinking enough. If you're doing a lot of detox, imagine all of that toxic matter finding its way down into your colon. It needs to be flushed away. So I still recommend, as I have done from day one, 2 to 3 liters of water per day. more if you're living in a warm area and you're particularly active. Last question today comes from David Coulshan's. Tried whole foods plant-based but didn't work. Carnivore is actually healing me rather quick as it gets me into autophagy real fast. I would argue red meat is a superfood as long as you avoid sugar, soy, veggie oils, and grains. My first question for you, David Coulshan, is how long did you try whole foods plant-based for? Did you try it long enough to go through the initial healing crisis phase where your vitality is sky high and so your body is doing a lot of detoxification work, which means your skin will initially get worse or stay the same for a time? My other question is, how on earth do you decide that red meat is a superfood? It just isn't. And if you're having to avoid sugar and soy and grains in order for meat and red meat consumption to work for you, then you got to question what's really going on in your digestive system in order for that to work. A lot of people find carnivore initially helpful because they're not feeding the carbohydrates and sugars into their gut, which is then feeding the candida issue that they've got there. So as you know, if you have read the Complete Guide to Healing Eczema, or if you've watched lots of my other videos, I believe in getting your gut back on track so that it knows how to deal with sugar and carbohydrates, the most simple, the most obvious human foods. We must get our bodies to be able to process that food again. If not, then we're not in a good way. We're not in a healthy state, because that's the most convenient, most obvious, the most useful food for human beings. And so if we're having to rely on red meat and stuff and your skin is doing better, I would argue that it's a containment and you're not actually healing your gut from doing that. You're actually just containing the problem for now and having to rely on a secondary fuel source. You're having to rely on a fuel source that human beings went to for survival rather than the most convenient, obvious, easy to digest foods that were designed by nature for human beings. That's my opinion, of course. You are completely welcome to do whatever you want, but we can go deeper into this one if you want some more information on it. Trying to keep these videos as short as possible to retain your attention and help you to click on the videos and actually watch them. If you want longer format videos and you'd like me to rattle on and go through loads of questions for 20 minutes, half an hour, let me know. Comment down below. If you prefer the live format of these videos, where I just ramble on for another 20 minutes, half an hour, then I can go back to doing those. Let me know. Let me know what you want to see on this channel. And also, if you've got any questions of your own, please post them in the comments down below or send me an email at info@eczemahealing.org. That's it. You're free to go, and I will see you in the next video.